share our relationship seasons education with our YouTubers. I shared an informative video yesterday on my Instagram page, right? And after the video was not really very well recorded, when I was not really pressing play on the video, then the video was not all stretched out and it doesn't look right, and no one's ever gonna want to anyway listen to what I have to say. Because sometimes when the videos come through on, even you are trying your best on the other side, and people sitting on Instagram and you're doing a live stream video and they sit and they miss the complete communication up as people that couldn't hear everything that you're explaining in the video. And then it is sometimes a disappointing season for our human being generation that are educating the journey seasons. And when people want to oppress your journey without oppressing you, the person, then social media have given people the advantage to oppress a RIBEA ELISE who's walking the journey seasons in the birthroom of Mama Philander, Mama Universe, in the international womb of humanity on earth. While our journey seasons are always saying that we are having to acknowledge us, the people that are walking this journey, that every process that were implemented on earth were implemented and meant for a finer reason, and that every part of social media were meant for a finer reason. And when social media managers and business owners are introduced to you, the person RIBEA ELISE, and you have already said so much on social media, and that by no means you have to still explain anything else to the person that are now managing and owning the platform. And then probably processes for RIBEA ELISE, and that is now on a journey, and that is now explaining the seasons differently. And then probably what the person RIBEA has said was now, like the Bible calls it, not falling on deaf ears. And then probably people managing the platform would understand the journey seasons education in 2024. And then probably a social platform, I always say, would grasp where we are at on this earth. When we look at the circumstances on this earth of wars, and then we are like, logically, the earth is the office. Logically, the office provides for every person in every household. Logically, the processes are clear in every certain country. Logically listening, it's probably for everyone to have a fair journey on earth. Logically listening, the process probably derives from somewhere. And when social media gets it wrong, one thing, if the process is not right in South Africa yet, because when people travel from war countries, they travel into South Africa, and then South Africa has their hands so full that RIBEA said in 2018, South African government, and I went to the government political leader in our community, and I said, this place is not clean enough. This processes can be a little better. This country can be a little cleaner on every part of management and leadership. That there's finances for the young youth in the community. And I have now walked the journey myself with our children, and that were now deprived out of schools because of processes that are oppressive to one household and that are fine for the left hand. Mama Philander was now the right hand, logically listening. The house that adheres to everything that requires acknowledgement amongst humanity. And here our grandchildren are now oppressed out of schools. Was now not only that my brothers were now oppressed out of schools, no. Was now not only that the opportunity was not given for the whole house. It was now not only that Mama Anna Pilates from a universe house were now oppressed in South Africa. It was now that the process went to chase the grandchildren. And the way that the schools are handling it, I really cannot agree with it. And I went to the school's departmental office. And I said that what is the problem in this community? Why is it difficult for people to logically listen to a bird movement? Why does South Africa get it so wrong? In South Africa are internationally homed. And then the journey of commitment is now not that easy. If we have to be committed to one another on this earth, and we were all brought to South Africa for a reason, and our parents all arrived in South Africa for a reason, and then the season's journey becomes easier for everyone in the international world. If South Africa gets it right, I said yesterday in my relationship video, a 20-year marriage to me and my husband, a 20-year romance, a 20-year birth womb for our daughter that was the first birth and that was now birthed in South Africa, analogically wrong communication that everyone had access to. And God allowed her not to burn her whole body. And the doctor said the scars were not there everywhere. But the logical process of how South Africa managed certain situations and how governmental officers had something to do with the fires that happened. Logically listening, South Africa, I'm a mother that understands every part of human beings that sometimes loses other human beings on earth. I'm a mother that was not disappointed in the people, even on the day that my daughter was not there anymore. Even on the day that my first birth daughter was not there anymore, I wasn't so disappointed. I was looking around me and everyone was so disappointed. And I have grasped that on this earth, there's a lot happening. And anyone would have wanted all their children to be on this amazing journey with them. But I was the one mother that when I looked at the hospital, I was logically listening. And I was now not going to hold it against anyone or against myself. Until a day where everyone now had to upheld their right hand. Because no one was now anyway doing nothing wrong. But logically listening today, and how everyone is still today trying to implement the process and our praise up to our Mama Anna Pilates house in South Africa. And then logically South Africa decided that they want to be on the wrong in the Mama Anna Pilates journey on earth. So one thing in South Africa is refused to an international world that wants to be on the wrong with one another. But it's another thing in South Africa's parents and families came from countries that were war countries once. And if everyone had to learn right from wrong in so many different explanations. And under such 20-year vow of relationship commitment, and that so many of us on this earth are making on a daily basis. To be committed to what we are doing. To be committed to fair processes on earth. We stand with people who stand in war only because of that commitment. Not because they want to give themselves up for South Africa to manipulate them when they are in war. Because so many people can make it fine out of war countries. Not for the armies and the defense force when they are deployed into war countries and they are from South Africa, for South Africa to now manipulate the world into war while a South African army officials are in war. I've met one relationship partner that came to me many years ago. And he came from the South African army that was deploying him in Congo. And he didn't explain anything else to me. I had to learn it on my journey self. And I had a good laugh yesterday and I said, oh, how odd did you come to RIBEA and live? And if you would have said it with the words, you would have said that the people talk about you in the war in Congo. That the people talk about you in the South African army. And that's what actually brought him to my door. While I had to learn it in a harsh way, my mama's womb, and how the womb can be chased in the international world, and how you, the baby, sometimes are innocent about all of the wrongs. We have to adhere and acknowledge every part of our season's journey. Every part of what does commitment means to us as the people. What does commitment mean to RIBEA and ELISE the person? What does it mean for us to be on this earth, to be committed to every process that we are employed at? My sister Antoinette doesn't like me to talk about her because she's employed at the South African at the England Council office. She's keeping her seat and she said she wants her daughter to also be employed at the council. It's leadership. It's every part of our Mama Anna Kulane, every process in the international market. And when your womb is Mama Universe, then the commitment is you acknowledging the season's journey and that birth and that womb season. And when we are not really not difficult and we are not serious people in this world, and then everyone else shouldn't the whole time play it at us. For every part of South African Council employees, my father was employed at South African Council. He was building the council office of the community, and that is a historical inheritance for our household. And that is not only him being the father, because according to everything, my education is so clear that my Mama Anna Philander is Mama Universe in the womb. And that yes, Papa Yapi was not there anymore. But the Mama Universe education, the Mama Universe that birthed my Mama Anna Philander, Mama Universe in South Africa, was now Papa. And the Mama Universe education is now really RIBEA upholding a right hand, acknowledging a left hand. And the commitment that we have as women, and that I now am owning and holding onto in this year and in this day. And that I would have loved to have my Papa there with us on all of these journeys. But he historically gave us an inheritance. He historically educated us to hold on to that. Let our journeys on this earth be not to be disruptive, but to build the countries as an inheritance. They are the Humbatanis in the marriage vow of Mama Anna Philander. They might have heard about Mama Anna Philander in American Celebrity House many years ago. The story went everywhere, and Malvina Lachik and Abrams from Babani family was running next to Mama Anna Philander all these years. All these years, generations and generations ago, and the Bible calls my Mama Anna the prophet. And it's not only that everyone's name is Anna. It is a journey that I say that Mama Universe wombed so clearly on this earth. She wombed so clearly in the universe that when baby Anna Philander was birthed, Mama Universe said, that's not exactly Mama Anna, Mama Universe. And that the faces in America, I sit in New Zealand today with my Mama Anna's human body, my Mama Anna's family line, the European blue eyes that my mama had, and the blue-gray that when we sit in front of her and the eye color is not so clear, and then we get excited and we say, your mama, your eyes are blue-gray. And then we had to learn to the womb journey. And that when South Africa got the information that this is Mama Anna, Mama Universe, and then the information was sent to earth many generations ago. When the baby was now womb, and then no one is gonna disrupt the household, no one is gonna disrupt the baby, because such is the wombing journey. South Africa learned about the grooming journey. And then maybe RIBEA says, and then no one goes to the disrupted family the whole time so that the house looks disrupted. So that someone else can have the upper hand and say, it is better for this house than for this house. And the education of it is better for the blonde with the green eyes and then for black Mama Anna with the blue-gray eyes. It's actually the Mama Universe communication in the universe. And it's not only a communication. And that's a universe journey like the tree that we are sitting at in this garden that New Zealand has built this house. And some people said, let's get RIBEA to that house because this house looks exactly like RIBEA's birthroom. And when I got to this house, and then the house now belongs to India. And I say, but India, do not disrupt the house's communication. But that while you are owning this house is me, RIBEA, ELISE's universe communications. How New Zealand got to get to that, God only knows. And when I had to learn that from South Africa, Polonaise Street, my husband was on a flight to Auckland, New Zealand after we had been in New Zealand in 2005. And then who was with my husband on the flight, Urban Kamali, from the same Polonaise Street, South Africa. How can you all get it so wrong in this world? And some people said, but we had to prove to you something that South Africa was busy with ordinances around Mamana Philander's house. And I say, you could have had, Urban Kamali is the most kindest person. His sister, Rosalind Kamali, can make me laugh for so many jokes. But there's ordinances about Rosalind Kamali. And the South African police made the story seem like they are now investigating a RIBEA or Mama Anna Philander's house. In New Zealand almost caused me to have lost my life in this country. The information went international so crazily and oppressively. And by the time the baby Tanika burned, and everyone wanted to explain themselves without RIBEA having a problem with what had happened, without me having held it personal to anyone. Such a personal journey I educate, and when the process of managing international offices becomes personal to our family, to our house. The biblical explanation of the very first people of the world we cannot explain. God has granted me access to learn that my Mama Martha was the families and the houses of more than 2,000 years ago. In the year 2000 and the season, the Bible says God held not the record. God held a cord to the womb of the very first people on earth. And South Africa learned that information. And they wanted to seal this whole universe communication of RIBEA. I said for New Zealand to get it so wrong, if we have an obligation in this world to uphold our right hand, how can Rosalind Kamali's family sit and listening to RIBEA ELISE's house while I, RIBEA ELISE, find myself in Merity, New Zealand? Now everyone pretends to be investigating a RIBEA ELISE that has nothing in the world that's ever did wrong. Everyone wants to pretend that they're investigating Mama Anna Philander's house so that they can have access to AWOKH's communication, that is RIBEA ELISE's universe communication in this house. When the world are already so disruptive, then no one still chases after RIBEA ELISE listening to the house communication and television so that they can find out where in the universe is RIBEA talking from. Where in the universe is this amazing AWOKH tree from? Where in the universe do they explain RIBEA ELISE that like the AWOKH profile photo so clearly? And then no one sends a Rosalind Kamali to sit and listen into RIBEA ELISE's New Zealand house. And the South African police that has found a way into this house's communication need to explain what are they busy with in my universe communications that have got to do with no one. And that are personal to our Mama Anna Philander, Mama Universe house. I'm gonna say the lovely journey of the garden again with everyone on our self-edition 3 video. And for people to want to chase my universe communications to block me in the universe. South Africa, there's a right from wrong. If the earth is already disrupted, then no one traces RIBEA ELISE in order to find out how to block a RIBEA in the universe, or how to steal the communication for someone else's house. Because while the earth has been introduced to green eyes, Mama Anna Kulanda's eye color was now a blue-gray. You get brown, you get green, you get all the colors, but a dark blue, gray, green. That's an amazing birthroom in the universe, a Mama Universe birthroom. And that no one educates them to want to run after people and prove people are the wrong in order to steal one another's womb communications in the universe. And for those South Africans that have chased after a RIBEA ELISE story for years, it is now time that you'll learn how was RIBEA introduced and educated to y'all. And y'all can uphold y'all's right hand. And y'all can be committed to also a journey that are 100-year journey that are fair and fine for everyone in the international world. Rather than chasing to want to be in competition with the RIBEA. Rather than wanting to be in marriage for the wrong reasons. And the commitment of my husband's employment office in New Zealand, that are RICO New Zealand, in fact, when you spell it, it spells RIBEA. And the commitment for no one to have run after the process to now want to steal the womb communication and then our house in South Africa looks disruptive and oppressed. It is time that a generation of people learn what a season's commitment journey means on this earth. And that let's make every process that we are at in the offices fair and fine for everyone on this earth. And that is where we are at with our commitments journey and our seasons journey with me, RIBEA ELISE. We will share on this lovely blossoming garden again in our discussions that we're going to have on Saturday. But for now, let us hold on to the seasons journey of commitment. That are upholding your right hand, acknowledging your left, but acknowledging the fair processes. And that is it. Have an amazing season's journey with me, RIBEA ELISE.